Is the LGBT really going to be affected by the Save America Act, or is it all just media BS? Let's talk about it. So as we all know by now, the Save America Act is on its way through the Senate. And it's right now, it's kind of being held up right now. And there's just all kinds of, it's the typical political nonsense that's happening right now. But the media is going crazy on this. And so is the social media, just saying how it's the worst thing that could possibly happen to this entire world, that it's Jim Crow era 2.0. And I'm like, okay. And then now the LGBT is now been grouped into this too. And I'm sitting back and I'm trying to analyze this and trying to think about all the people I know in my life and people I've run into in my life and throughout my journey, and try to figure out like who has been disadvantaged throughout my past life that weren't able to get an ID of some sort. I mean, it's offensive as all get up to say that females can't do it because they just got married. It's offensive to say that like people of color and other minorities and gays and lesbians and trans people can't do these basic, simple life tasks. Like, it's crazy to me that we're all standing here listening to this and going along with it. Not all of us. I mean, it's a small minority amount of the population in this country that are just screaming at the top of their lungs. And it's just, it gets over the top, gets annoying to listen to, because it's like you're all making a big deal out of absolutely nothing. I mean, you literally need an ID to vote. I mean, ID to do everything. I mean, you can't buy liquor. You can't buy cigarettes. You can't. I went to the aquarium a couple months back. I had to have my ID to get into there. Like you need an ID of some sort for everything. They keep saying now online that you need to have a passport to go through. People can't afford a passport. Well, guess what? You don't have to have a passport to vote. You have to have a passport or an ID. I mean, like people are just cutting this stuff apart and just making just crap out of this. So I did some searching online and I did an average cost per the entire United States, an average cost what it is to get a state issued ID, which everyone can get. That is anywhere from $10 to $50, depends upon the state. So one state could be 40, one could be 20, and that is to get a state issued ID. Another one I looked up is that if you lose your birth certificate, how much does that generally cost? And it's anywhere between $4 and $40 to get your birth certificate reissued again. Again, per state could be 20, 30, 40, 10, 4, whatever. So, okay, that's not the end of the world. And then if you get married, which apparently is like the biggest deal right now, it's anywhere from $10 to $500. Now, obviously on the higher end is probably if you have a lot of bank accounts and things to change. But I will say this much, I have planned 7 weddings over my last 15 years of my life. And I can't tell you how many times I have sat there and looked over and watching them signing the marriage certificate right after it was all done. You got the freaking sermon, the minister, they're all signing stuff and they're doing it, and then the bride goes and they take care of stuff, submit paperwork, and it's done. Like, if you can plan a wedding that houses 500 people, you can plan a wedding that has just 5 people at the courthouse. Like, you still have to plan stuff, and people have been changing their names like this for forever. Like, this is not just a new thing. Like, and it's just a slap in the face to females, even into the gays. Like, gays and lesbians apparently were grouped into that too, because we're too dumb to be able to figure out how to change our last names if I married a man, or whatever. And it's so stupid, because we already have 37 states in this country that require a photo ID to vote. So like, to sit there and make a huge ordeal of this is just, it's absolutely nuts. And they're hammering hardcore on the trans part right now, because if you change your name from Edie to Stevie, or Stevie to Edie, like, they're saying that it's just impossible. You're losing your driver's license and things. And I get it. It's probably more of a pain in the butt. There is ways around it, but maybe it's a little more work. But they make up such a small, minute amount of our population. Like, they're 1% of the 10% society. So is that really going to influence the entire United States on the voting practices? Like, life is hard. There are so many things that we do that just make things complicated. And I'm sorry they have to go through extra steps, and things aren't as easy as it could be for other people, but that's what life is. I can't tell you how many times I've had to personally go through horrible, over the top, just crazy, stressful things that are just make no logical sense. Like, it's part of my normal life, like more than some other people, I swear sometimes. But The point of all this is that there isn't a gay person, a lesbian, a trans person. There's not a single woman out there, a straight woman, that cannot figure out how to change her name or get a state issued ID. It's literally something that we all can do. And I'm telling you the truth. I mean, you have 2.5 years to get this figured out. If they pass this tomorrow, you have 2.5 years before the next presidential election. So if you can't, in that time period, save up $10, $20, $30 to go get a state issued ID, you can't get a birth certificate in that time period, then maybe you shouldn't be voting. Because if you can't take care of your basic life stuff, how are you going to be voting in a presidential election? It's just, we all need to do better. We all need to do better. And, the extreme people who are screaming about this the most, which is a small, minute amount of the population, squeaky wheel gets the oil. Like, they just screaming like crazy about this. It's really not that big of a deal. It really, honestly, is not. So I think we need to push back more on this crap and just be like, y'all need to sit down and shut up and let people just live their lives and stop thinking that minorities can't do this because they're minorities. POC, black people, can't do this because they're their skin color, or gays and lesbians and women can't do this because they're gay and lesbian or straight woman. And I'm like, it's so offensive to think that just because we're these categories that we're not able to do life basic, simple requirements. Like, it's so dumb. There isn't a single person that in my entire life that I know that doesn't have an ID or a driver's license or something. I know 2 homeless people who have state issued IDs. Like it can be done. Like it's really not that big of a deal. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to ramble on that because I did a short video about this a couple days ago and I got my ass handed to me because my morals are horrible because I think people should try a little harder and, get your ID. It's not that big of a deal. So anyways, remember, it ain't all about you. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you the next one. Bye for now.